Chapter 9, Section 2, The Fall of Rome. The Decline of Rome. Main idea. Poor leadership, a declining economy, and attacks by Germanic tribes weakened the Roman Empire. In AD 180, Marcus Aurelius died. His son, Commodus, became emperor. Commodus was cruel and wasted money. Instead of ruling Rome, Commodus spent much of his time fighting as a gladiator. In AD 192, the emperor's bodyguard killed him. Nearly a century of confusion and fighting followed. After Commodus, emperors called the Severans ruled Rome. Much of their time was spent putting down revolts and protecting Rome's borders. The Severans stayed in power by paying the army well, but they ignored the growing problems of crime and poverty. Political and social problems. When the last Severan ruler died in AD 235, Rome's government became very weak. For almost 50 years, army leaders fought each other for the throne. During this time, Rome had 22 different emperors. Poor leadership was not Rome's only difficulty. Fewer Romans honored the old ideals of duty, courage, and honesty. Many government officials took bribes. As problems increased, talented people often refused to serve in government. Many wealthy citizens even stopped paying taxes. Fewer people attended schools, and a large number of the empire's people were now enslaved. Wealthy Romans supported slavery because it was a cheap way to get work done. Economic and military problems. During the AD 200s, Rome's economy began to fall apart. As government weakened, law and order broke down. Roman soldiers and invaders seized crops and destroyed fields. Farmers grew less food, and hunger began to spread. As the economy worsened, people bought fewer goods. Artisans produced less, and shopkeepers lost money. Many businesses closed, and the number of workers dropped sharply. Many workers had to leave jobs and serve in the army. A plague, or disease that spreads widely, also took its toll. It killed 1 out of every 10 people in the empire. Rome also began to suffer from inflation, or rapidly increasing prices. Inflation happens when money loses its value. How did this happen? The weak economy meant fewer taxes were paid. With less money coming in, the Roman government could not afford to defend its territories and had to find a way to pay its soldiers and officials. One way for the government to get money it needed was to put less gold in its coins. By putting less gold in each coin, the government could make extra coins and pay for more things. People soon learned that the coins did not have as much gold in them, and the coins began losing value. Prices went up, and many people stopped using money altogether. They began to barter or exchange goods without using money. Meanwhile, invaders swept into the empire. In the west, Germanic tribes raided Roman farms and towns. In the east, armies from Persia pushed into the empire's territory. As fighting increased, the government could no longer enlist and pay Romans as soldiers. It began using Germanic warriors in the army. However, these Germanic soldiers were not loyal to Rome. What were Diocletian's reforms? In AD 284, a general named Diocletian became emperor. To stop the empire's decline, he introduced reforms, or political changes, to make things better. Because the empire was too large for one person to rule, Diocletian divided it into 4 parts. He named officials to rule these areas, but kept authority over all. Diocletian also worked to boost the economy. To slow inflation, he issued rules that set the prices of goods and the wages to be paid to workers. To make sure more goods were produced, he ordered workers to remain at the same jobs until they died. Diocletian's reforms failed. The people ignored the new rules, and he did not have enough power to make them obey. Who was Constantine? In AD 305, Diocletian retired from office. After a period of conflict, another general named Constantine became emperor in AD 312. To aid the economy, Constantine issued several orders. The sons of workers had to follow their fathers' trades, the sons of farmers had to work the land their fathers worked, and the sons of soldiers had to serve in the army. Constantine's changes did not halt the empire's decline in the west. As a result, Constantine moved the capital from dying Rome to a new city in the east. He chose the site of the Greek city of Byzantium. There he built a forum, an amphitheater called the Hippodrome, and many palaces. The city became known as Constantinople. Today, Constantinople is called Istanbul. Reading check. How did Diocletian try to reverse the decline of Rome?